Hey guys, what's up? Rudy here. I want to tell y'all about a strange dream I had, and in the dream it involved a duck. It was a young duck. In my mind, it was a young duck, and it was a female duck. And in the dream, she asked me a very specific question, and just to preface it a little bit, it was like a young female duck with like a crowd around her. I don't remember what the crowd was composed of. Could have been other animals, could have been people. I want to say it was like just a crowd of people who were listening to me. And the little duck asked me a very specific question. She asked, "Do women matter?" She asked, "Do women matter?" And in the dream, I immediately said no. I just said no, flat out. And right off the bat, she got upset. The vibrations took over. And the whole crowd got upset. They started pointing fingers at me. They started calling me a sexist. Started calling me a misogynist. Oh, you hate women. All that stuff. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm going to explain to the duck why I'm saying these things. And I'm not going to worry about the crowd. I'm just going to talk to this one little duck who wants to know why women don't matter. And in my mind, um, I was very specific about saying no right away. Like it just came out of me in the dream, like to just say no and then to explain myself because a lot of people get hooked up on the labels, right? So in my mind, I explain these things about labels and identifying with labels like women, labels like man, labels like woman, like father, husband, wife, mother, etc. Because all of these labels set you up for failure. And in the dream, I explained these to the little duck, just focusing on the duck, right? And as I'm speaking, I'm explaining these things. What's weird about it in the dream that it was like a flash forward, and suddenly the duck understood these things and was calm about it. And the crowd, as I was speaking, the crowd began dispersing, like they didn't want to listen to me anymore. I had nothing to say, so they just started walking off. But the little duck stayed, and so explain how what the labels mean. When you self-identify as a mother or self-identify as a woman, you set yourself up to not be those things because you have it in your mind without the knowledge and the wisdom of even knowing what it takes to be a mother or what it takes to be a woman. To label yourself as these things. You'll see this a lot of times with feminists where they identify themselves as a mother or they identify themselves as lesbian or identify themselves as a feminist for that matter, not really knowing what they're talking about. They just heard the label and they just go with the label. It's like, oh, I'm a mother. That sounds good. Let's go with that. So I was explaining this to the little duck, and the little duck understood after a while. She calmed down. She started understanding. And I woke up with this dream on my mind, and it's I'm at work right now. I've been at work for a few hours, and it's still on my mind. Like, what in the world? What in the world was that about? What does this all represent? I'm not the kind of person to just try to dissect dreams, but I just couldn't help it because it was so strange. The feeling that I got and the calmness I had as I was explaining these things to the crowd, and the crowd wanted to kill me essentially. And I remember it's so specific, thinking like, don't just ignore the crowd. Don't worry about the crowd. Focus on this one duck. And I think that's how I feel about a lot of things where, especially on my YouTube channel, where I'm just focusing on maybe the one or two people that are willing to listen, that actually are getting it and understanding it rather than the crowd. I'm not here to have the big views or have the big numbers or have the big subscribers or the big subscriber count or whatever. It's like I just want to speak to that one person who may be listening, who's maybe a little lost, because I'm lost too. Like, I'm trying to figure these things out. So it's like I don't have all the answers, but this is the way I see it. This is the way I observe it. And the question of do women matter, I would still say no, just as an immediate response, because to me, the word mother, or the word, first of all, do women matter? Matter as in the material. Do women matter? And it comes from the root word. I think it's maya, mother. Material, matter. That's what that means. That's what matters. That's what matter means. So do women matter? And I'm like, no. And there's multiple meanings, obviously, and I was kind of being cheeky in the dream. Um, like I said, the response was very specific, knowing fully well the backlash I was going to get, but saying it anyway because I meant it. Where let's reverse it for a second, just to be fair. Like, do men matter? No, they do not, because once a man gets it in their head that they have to act like a man or act machismo or whatever, they immediately begin picturing something in their head like a Superman or a macho man or machismo. They're the manliest thing they can think of, a John Rambo or whatever, and that sets them up for failure because they don't know what it takes. They had a weak father. They have no idea. And there are exceptions, obviously. There's a lot of men out there that did have strong fathers that taught them right and wrong. And being a man isn't about being macho. Being a man is being there for your family, being there for your kids, talking to your children, being the protector, being the husband, being the provider, being there as the support for the family, being the rock of the family, and being able to be approached and being spoken to without hesitating, without not necessarily knowing what to say, but to at least get it all out. To try to figure these things out with your family, having fellowship with your family, talking about things without anger, without spite. That's what it takes to be a man. That's what a man means to me. I don't have these, and maybe then that's a label too, right? So in a way, I have to let that go and really examine it. But I think that's all, guys. I just want to tell you about the dream I had. Super strange, super interesting. I'll probably talk about it again because this is actually the second recording, and I rambled on a little too much in that first recording about things that weren't important to the dream, and I kind of went off on a tangent. So, but there are things I want to talk about, so I'll probably revisit those topics another time. But anyway, y'all have a great night. Bye bye.